All right, so now I'm going to show you how to set up a TCG. Although on this instrument, because it's much older, it's actually called a TVG. TCG, of course, stands for time corrected gain. In this one, it would stand for time varied gain. It doesn't really make a difference. And again, all these concepts, well, I'm showing you on this Epic LT, which is a much, much older system. All these concepts are the same no matter which system you're using. It's just a matter of figuring out which buttons are the same thing. Like, for instance, I mean, it says TVG instead of TCG, but the idea is that you are going to be correcting the amount of gain input at a location on the time base, which of course is the x-axis on your screen, in order to compensate for attenuation, which is the gradual loss of sound pressure over distance. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm using this step wedge that goes up to 0.5. Starting here at 0.2, we have about 40% amplitude. 0.3, we have even less. We're down to about 25% amplitude. Yeah, so 0.1, we've got about 40% amplitude. 0.2, a little bit more for some reason. I'm trying to figure out why that's happening, but I'm not sure. Could have something to do with the cycle. Could have something to do with this particular piece of metal just being kind of messed up. So in this particular instrument, I go to options and I can select TVG. I turn it on, it's on. All right, let me exit. So right now, it's waiting for me to put in under my gate the first signal that I want to set as a reference point. I press the button, TVG, now boom, it automatically sets it up to 80. I come to 0.2. 0.2 is a little hot now. I'm going to hit it again. It decreased gain to 80. 0.3, all right. Boom, 80. 0.4, we're super hot now. Boom, 80. Finally, 0.5, 80. So now we've created a multi-point TCG, which is going to keep my signal amplitude constant over those ranges that I've set. Doing this in my hand is a gigantic pain in the ass. But this is very easy to just overwrite the points. So that's pretty cool. Again, what we're doing here is we are applying a specific amount of gain to that particular place on the time base to compensate for attenuation. This is a lot more important when you're doing shear wave. I mean, it's important regardless. If you want to inspect a 10-inch round bar and you want to make sure that your return signal or your sensitivity stays constant over that full sound path, you have to establish a TCG on a known reflector of a given size. And that way, it doesn't matter if your void shows up at 2 inches, at 5 inches, or all the way on the other end of the bar at 9 inches, you're going to have the same amplitude from that certain size reflector. And once you're all done on any instrument, you're basically just going to hit done, and then you can go on inspecting just as you've been doing. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if it's not going to make a fool of me, everything's going to be at about 80, but of course, nothing's ever perfect out here. Plus, I'm not really keeping regular coupling on this little block. Like I said, basically, that's the fundamentals of setting up a TCG, which of course stands for time corrected or time varied gain on this particular instrument, which of course compensates for attenuation or sound pressure loss over distance so that you can maintain a regular amount of amplitude response over a longer sound path. All right, thank you.